Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is 5 historical fiction books to read ASAP. I say ASAP because out of the 5, 4 of them I've had for 6 months pretty much. By the time this video goes live it will be 6 months at least. And then one of them I've had more recently, but I waited till it came out in paperback. And the fact that I waited till it came out in paperback means that it is still a new-ish release, that it was released this year. I got ASAP when it came out in paperback and I've not read yet. Why do I do this, right? I do not get why I buy books when they come out in hardback straight away. Oh, actually, 3 of them have been gifted. But I put books on my wish list in hardback straight away and then I don't read them straight away 9 times out of 10. I know they look pretty. I know, in all honesty, I need to reread them. Hint, hint, for next year, I am going to be rereading some historical fiction books and some contemporaries. That's going to be a video to come up towards the end of the year. Because I'm going to, you know how I reread the classics this year? Well, next year I'm rereading 5 contemporaries and 5 historical fictions. I think that's more practical. I am still having a 5 classics to read. I'm going to have a 6 classics to read in 2024. Because rereading them has definitely got my vibe back for them. But anyway, that's enough rambling. But what I'm saying is, I get these books in hardback and I do not read them straight away. And then sometimes I get them in hardback and they've come out in paperback and I've still not read them. One of these is very likely that could well have happened, or might have even happened now. And I'll explain when we get to it. I've only put one, like I said, the only one I put in paperback is a book that I've been excited about for ages, and I still keep putting off reading it and I need to read it. So when I say ASAP, because obviously we are already on September and October, my October TBR is planned, it's Victober related, it's jam-packed. So none of these will get read in October, but I will be reading at least one of these a month, every one of these a month for the next 5 months after that. So November, December, January, February, March. So all 5 of these need to be read by the end of March. Or you can give you permission to punish me in some way. I don't know how, but you can punish me. I don't know what. I will let you guys deal with it. But I need to read the books that I buy. Sometimes if they're charity shop, it doesn't matter because I'm not paying very much. But if they're hardback and I'm paying full whack for them, certainly if they're hardback, I need to read them a lot quicker. I have got some older hardbacks on my shelves that I've got from charity shops or I've been given second hand. So like I said, they are not as much of a priority. But Kat from Brews and Reviews has said there is one book that's coming out in hardback this very soon. And she was like, you can't ask for it in hardback because you've not read the one before that in hardback yet. I'll explain that when I show you. Why do I keep rambling? Anyway, get to the point. I need to read these. There is one that I'm going to be reading in November because it's the oldest one on this pile. And I'll tell you that. Then I want you to give me some idea about which order I read the others in. And the one that gets the most comments, I will probably put a poll. Actually, I'll put a poll up right out of the 4 about which one will get read in December. And then maybe that's another way I'll do it. Maybe I will gradually keep putting polls up about every time, and then that way you guys decide. Because I know that Jem from Gem of Books does a hit or miss thing when she gets you guys to vote for a couple of books for her to do for the hit and miss. So that's how I'm going to do it, actually. That's a good idea. When this video goes live, I'm going to try and remember to put a poll up for December's video, for December's TBR, and you guys will pick out of the 4 which one I read in December. Let's see how we do. So let's show you. I've rambled enough and I've got loads of jobs to do. So the first one is the one that's in paperback, and that is the Bookbinder of Jericho. Now I know Katie read this for her book club, for her her Patreon. Katie read it for her Patreon, and I really have been desperate. I loved the Dictionary of Lost Words, and I've actually got the paperback of that on my shelves to read, because I listened to it on audiobook, and I've actually got the paperback to read, so I'm actually going to read that soon. But I really am excited by the Bookbinder of Jericho. I believe it's set after, when the men leave for the Western Front, Peggy and her friends must shoulder the burden at home. As she moves between the bookbindery where she works and a narrowboat full of memories, Peggy's dreams of escaping for a new life feel even more remote. But the war brings people together in unexpected ways. New friends offer new opportunities, but also present difficult choices, and Peggy must write her own story. It's got comments in the back by Rachel Horay and Fiona Valpy, which are two of my favourite historical fiction. I'm pretty sure Katie's read it and she enjoyed it. So let's see when it's set. I don't know exactly when it's set. Because with the Western Front, it could be either one of the two wars, the World War I or World War II. But I don't think it's telling me what. So I think it's World War I for some reason. Yes, World War One. So it is quite old. So that's not necessarily one you need to read anyway. Straight. But yeah, that'll get given as an option for you guys. But I've had that one probably that's probably my most recent one that I've had out of this pile. Now to the one I've had the longest. Kat from Brews and Reviews bought me this for Christmas. It is The Paris Affair by Anton de Beck. He's got the next book out in the series in hardback very soon. And I haven't read this one. And it is carrying on from that series. So I think it's, what's the series? I don't even know. The Buckingham Hotel series, I think. And Kat bought it for me for Christmas. And it's such a beautiful book. And it's set partly, so we've got two timelines. I think this is one of them set before the main series, and that's set in Paris in 1926. And it's about young dancer Ray Cohen, who arrives in London to compete in the exhibition in Paris. And he's led astray by Hugo, a charismatic performer born to the streets, who introduces himself to the city's nightlife and a dazzling stranger called Hannah Lind. And then we've got the timeline which carries on from the Buckingham Hotel series, and it's set in 1941. With heroic Raymond de Guise fighting in North Africa, his beloved wife Naomi must balance her position as head of housekeeping. And they've got a child and everything else. And it is a beautiful, beautiful book. Look, it's stunning. I love that. I know Anton de Beck's now recently put out a middle grade book as well. But this is stunning. I've had it since Christmas, but for some reason I keep putting it off. It's like nearly 500 pages. Sheesh. It is chunky. This is getting read in November. I promised myself I'm not putting this off. So this one is my November pick. So this will not go on the list of books, but it is one that I've had the longest. Christmas, and I've still not read it. I've got a funny feeling it's out in paperback, or it will be out in paperback very soon. It is chunky, but I need to read it. Now to the other three that are on the list. And these are all three that I got around March. So the first one was the one that Chris got me for my birthday. And that is The Stormy May by Vanessa Chan. It was a book we expected to go on the Women's Prize long list, but it didn't. I don't know if Gem's read it or not, but I think she has. And it was a stunning book that we expected to be on the prize list. Like I said, it's beautiful, beautiful. I got it on the Marlowe bookshop on my birthday. Chris bought it for me. It's got dual timeline. First, it's set in British Malaya, 1930s. Discontented housewife Cecily is seduced by the Japanese General Fujiwara, I think, and the glorious future she is promising for the independent Malaya, free of the British colonisation. And as she becomes further embedded in her own his own personal spy, she unwittingly alters the fate of her country by welcoming it in a punishing form of dictatorship under the Japanese in World War II. And then we've got Japanese-occupied Malaya in 1945. Cecily and her family are barely surviving. Their children, Jujuba, Abel and Jasmine, are surrounded by threat and look to their mother to keep them safe. But she can't tell them about the part she played in the war. Can Cecily face up to her past and save her children, or is it too late? This book is not cheap. Again, it's a very pretty naked hardback. But it's not cheap, and yet Chris bought it for me, and I was like, I'm going to read it straight away, because I was expecting it to go on the Women's Prize long list. And when it didn't, I didn't rush to it. It's considerably shorter than the other book, but I need someone or something to make me read it quickly. Now to the book that another book that Kat gave me, Kat from Brews and Reviews gave me. She gave it in March, so it wasn't a birthday present, but it was a book to shock me, because she wanted to buddy read it with me. But we've just not got around to it because we've got so obsessed with the Rick Riordan series. 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. Love blossoms in the darkest days. So sorry, Kat, we're going to choose when we're going to do budget. We're going to read this by this poll. She's going to kill me. Actually, no, she won't. She loves me really. Millie Bobby Brown is the actress who was in Stranger Things. She was in a lot of things. Oh, Enola Holmes. That's what I like her in. I don't like Stranger Things. But Mia, I know Mia really likes Millie Bobby Brown. And this has got the most stunning naked hardback. Look at that. Look at the end page on that. Stunning. It's beautiful. So this is actually a historical fiction book. I've never imagined Kat reading a historical fiction book. It's set in London 1944, not in London 1942. And I think Kat said that it was one that is actually inspired by Millie Bob Brown's own family stories. So despite the raging war, spirited 18-year-old Nellie Morris lives a quiet life in the tight-knit East End community of Bethnal Green. Her family and friends all tease her that she will marry the air warden Billy, the boy next door who's always been sweet on her. The arrival of Ray, a handsome American airman stationed nearby, causes Nellie to question everything she thought she knew about her future. Nellie's newfound happiness is short-lived when a tragic accident occurs during the air raid. Even the closest family can't escape the devastation of war, and the secrets and truth about that fateful night when they become clear, they threaten to tear Nellie and those dearest to her apart. It's apparently based on a true history. It's less than 400 pages, but I am intrigued. We need something to kick off our bum and read it. So that's going to be going on one of the ones you can vote for. And then last but not least, a book. I have an excuse for why I've not read this, right? Because for me, I had an excuse for getting this next book, wanting this next book in hardback. And that's because it's an author that I'm starting to collect all her works in hardback. And that is Kristin Hannah's latest book, The Women. Actually, I don't know if I am collecting them in hardback. I don't know why then. Why did I put it on this? I know I've got The Four Winds in paperback, and I think I've got one of her books in hardback. Oh wow, actually this is stunning, because this was given to me by Anne from Brews and Reviews. Thank God I keep the gift receipts from Amazon. This is what I want to do in hardback. Look at the end pages. They are stunning. Kristin Hannah is one of my favourite authors. I know her books will destroy me, but I can't remember if this is the one that had mixed reviews. I think Gem's read it. I think it wasn't one of her favourites, but we'll have to wait and see. But again, this one is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy, and I can't thank Anne enough for this book. I'm literally collecting all this author's work. And this is about set in the Vietnam War. So women can be heroes. When the 20-year-old nursing student, Frances Frankie McGrath, hears the unexpected words, it is a revelation. But raised on the California's idyllic Colorado Island and sheltered by her conservative parents, she has prided herself by doing the right thing, always being a good girl. But in 1965, the world is changing, and suddenly she imagines a different path for her life. When her brother ships out to serve in Vietnam, she impulsively joins the Army Nurse Corps and follows his path. As green and inexperienced as the young men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and destruction of war, and as the unexpected trauma of coming home to a changed America. This is the story. The Women is the story of one woman who goes to war but shines a light on the story of all the women who put themselves in harm's way to help others. It is stunning. I need to get to this. I need to be forced to get to these books. They are all 4 books. I've chosen, out of these 5, they're all 5 books that I am so unbelievably excited about. But I don't know what's putting me off reading them quicker. So, you guys can vote. I'm trying to think if there's like a history emoji. Historical, because it's a historical fiction book emoji. I think Mia's on her phone, so I might get Mia. Mia, can you check if there's a historical fiction emoji on the emojis? She's gonna have a little look. So I need to pick an emoji for you guys to tell me if you got to the end of the video. I know it's not a long one, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, all of these are excited. So the 4 that will be in the options are going to be The Bookbinder of Jericho, The Women, The Stormy May, and 19 Steps. And I think she's looking at the emojis. Yeah, type historical fiction and see what you say.
What is it?
It's like history. Oh, I tell you what. Just put... I'm trying to think. Why can I not think of my emojis? I used to be really good at this. I just put a book emoji. Just put any book emoji, because these are all books that I want to get to urgently. So just put a book emoji if you get to the end of it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed, ring on my ding-a-ling. And let me know in the polls what book you think I should read quickly in December. Bye bye.